Good evening, everyone. I am Mark, your fat friend.
And I'm James, your black friend.
And this is the Fat and Black Connection,
where we talk about anything and everything. Well, as long as it's interesting to us.
Well, naturally. And of course, this is a live interactive broadcast. Today is June 8th. 2022. I got to give a very special shout out really quickly to my dad. Happy birthday, old man. It is, yes. So it is 8:01 here on the left coast, west coast, nothing but the best coast.
Baby.
Rye all day. Who cares about Biggie? It's all about Tupac. Anyways.
Yikes.
I know, I'm taking it back.
Yikes.
So
starting the feud all over again, huh?
Indeed. We got to keep it going, man. I'm sorry, hip hop sucks today.
No, it's horrible.
Right. Like
horrible.
we need a good hip hop feud to maybe bring it back into focus.
Nah, I don't know. But anyways, yes. So make sure you leave your comments over there, because basically sometimes, just not all the time, but sometimes those get in the show, and then our whole show can get kind of switched around and stuff. So
yes. We obviously want to talk about what we want to talk about, but if you bring up something that's interesting, we might talk about it.
Oh yeah.
And we are on right now streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Dailymotion. And of course, you can listen to us after the fact. We broadcast, we put our show up on all those podcasting platforms. There's too many to name: Spotify, Amazon, whatever. There's just there's so many these days. But we are.
Wherever you want to find it, you can find it. So
yeah, if you can't find it, you let me know, and I'll make sure you can find it, because I've not been able to go anywhere and not find us these days.
Yeah.
So, with that in mind, the show is growing. We're growing.
Yes.
We're
both ways.
Indeed. And we got Steven checking in. Got to watch the finals. I get it, man. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. But as of right this minute, the score is 93-89. Golden State Warriors are losing.
Down.
Yes. So before we really kind of dive into the content of the show for today, I first want to start off with, I've got a nice glass of ice here, and I have some good old Costco bottle of spiced rum.
It's a Captain Morgan.
Yeah, it's basically Captain Morgan. And so I'm going to pour some of that on ice, do a nice little, about a third or so of the glass. And I don't know if you've seen this or had this. This is Dr. Pepper and cream soda, 0 sugar.
No.
Okay. I had one of these today for the first time. And I got to tell you, this is delicious.
All right.
And 0 sugar.
And 0 sugar.
But it does have all that saccharin. Give you all that cancer.
Cancer.
Tasty. So I have not tried this. I'm making this for the first time. So this is Dr. Pepper and cream soda, 0 sugar. And the
cream soda. Okay.
Costco bottle of spiced rum. Let's give it a shot, shall we? Are you drinking with me this evening, friend?
I am. I grabbed another delicious 805.
Wow, way to keep it original.
Hey, I got like a 24 pack, so
that is mighty tasty, my friend.
All right.
So I would highly recommend, if you can, go out and find some Dr. Pepper and cream soda, get some rum, and
mix them together, huh?
It is refreshing.
All right.
All right. So Let's talk about some interesting stuff, shall we?
Shell.
All right. Well, first up, as was already mentioned, let's talk about the 2022 NBA Finals between the Golden State Warriors, Boston Celtics. We talked about this last week before the series started.
Yeah, I was wrong.
ESPN had the Celtics favored at 84%. And I got to say, after game one, I was like, oh, wow. Maybe we were wrong.
Yeah.
Then game two, and I was like, okay, there's the Warriors.
Yeah, and that change, and like so the best part has been the Vegas odds have like shifted after each game.
Yes. And then game three is currently going on. Just a really quick update, 91-98. Looks like Boston's pulling ahead again.
Yeah.
And there's 9 minutes, 45 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. And this one looks more contested. It didn't at first. It was looking like, oh no, this is going to be game one all over again.
Yeah, it looked like a blowout was happening, and then.
But I will tell you this: if the Warriors are able to split in Boston, even if they lose the night, if they win the next game, I still think they win this series.
Yeah.
If they lose both games, then I think it's over.
Well, yeah. I mean, we'll see. We'll definitely see, because this whole thing is it's been interesting. It's been I didn't think this would be. I mean, I knew it wouldn't be an easy series, but I didn't think it would be like blowout. Well, they weren't really even blowouts. They were, but yeah. Yikes! What is going on out here? Big question. Who will win best costumes? What? Uh-oh. Oh, what? Sorry. Yo, I went back in.
Is the show still going?
It says it's still live.
Interesting. Well, my computer over here completely just glitched out and more or less crashed.
Oh. Yeah, it says it's still live.
Well, let's. I'm trying to come back in. So I assume you still have the mic on, and we're still broadcasting them.
Okay, let me turn this down then. Yeah, I thought it was me.
No, my computer just completely stalled out.
Okay.
That was a first for me.
Yeah. What's going on, Tyrus? There we go.
All right, I am magically back and magically delicious.
And you were super echoey.
I apologize. You know why that is? Because you're in here twice now. Let's see.
Oh,
this is fun.
Here, let me turn one of these off.
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, I apologized. We are back. We are here. My computer just completely took a dump. I don't know what happened. So, yeah. And it looks like
there
James,
we go. Okay.
There.
No, I had to close one of them out. So yeah.
Anyway, you closed the wrong one.
Oh, my bad. I thought that was me. So I was like,
no.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, wow.
All right.
Technical difficulties. So
live show, people.
So of course, live show. This is how you know this is real, because yeah. And yes, Tyrus, we were blacker there for a moment when we had two Jameses. We should have brought you in on a fourth screen, and then we could have had two Jameses, a Tyrus, and a me. So we were talking about the NBA Finals,
Right.
and again a quick update. Oh my gosh, 102.91. Okay, I guess the Warriors decided they were done for the day.
Well, we'll see. I mean, they still got a little bit of time. Not a whole lot, but just a little bit.
Sure, let's go with that. So ultimately, I'm not feeling too warm and fuzzy at this moment about the Warriors and their chances, based on how they played in Game 1 and today. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
It's not over. That's for sure.
No.
But if they lose tonight and they lose Game 4, it's over.
Yeah. I mean, that would be. I mean, it wouldn't be unheard of to somebody losing that from that. But yeah, no, it would definitely be tough. So I think they definitely need to split the series. And yeah, if they split the series, I think it's going 7 at that point. Then.
Yeah.
So it all determines who wins, who actually comes to play in Game 7. That's when it's going to really.
Absolutely
at this point.
So talking about going 7, we're going to talk about going 6, and that is season 1 of Murphy's Inc., which is a radio audio drama comedy podcast that we've talked about in the past. It has wrapped on principal recording. So 6 episodes is going to be season 1, kind of short and sweet. Going to set up all the characters, set up the concept and the universe in which Murphy's Inc. takes place. You're involved. You play a character in the series. I'm executive producing. I also play a character in the series, and we've got a lot of great people working on this show that you and I know from past lives, such as Tyrus, a fan and friend of the show, who we've had on the show before. He's involved. We've got a person
Stephanie.
Stephanie, who we worked with, in high school and then in shows post high school. So there's a lot of people in this, a lot of talent. I got to say, I worked on Secrets of Heritage House, and that was fun. And there are some talented people over there, of course, but I feel like with Murphy's Inc., we got really lucky with the auditions and the level of talent that we were able to pull from those auditions. And I'm really excited to be able to share this show, hopefully in the very near future, with everyone out there. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think, yeah.
Honestly, I like the switch up that we ended up having to make. So
what James is talking about, we recorded the first 2 episodes, and after we listened to the first episode, we kind of realized, oh no, we need to make some changes. The direction was not strong. Some of the acting was not up to snuff, from my opinion, and we also had some characters that the actors, they unfortunately just weren't working out. And so we made some changes, and we went back and we re-recorded. And listening to the rough drafts so far, it is 10 times better than the first go round.
Yeah, I mean, like, even when we did, I was in when we did like some of the recording, and just hearing how the change that we made for for some of the characters, it was like, yo, this works, this it seems better, it works better. So I'm just excited to see how it all sounds, and with once everything is done with the sound effects and all that kind of stuff in it.
Yeah, and we are working on a season 2. We have brought in some fresh writers that seem to be eager and excited to kind of be able to dive into this universe that we've created with Murphy's Inc. And I can tell you right now that season 2 will be probably, if not, it's going to be close to twice as long. We're probably looking at anywhere between 10 and 12 episodes.
All right.
Yeah. So just really briefly, the synopsis of what Murphy's Inc. is: it is a time traveling heist comedy show. Uh, Basically, this group of people have a time machine and go back in time to steal items from the past to make money off of today.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun, really, just in these last couple episodes that I've directed, and really kind of getting to put my imprint on those characters. And season 2, I think, is going to only get that much better because we will start diving into the characters a lot more. And of course, mentioned that Tyrus is involved. He says he's super excited. Went from a tiny role to a slightly bigger one. It was a great ride. Back on the road. Well, have a good one, Tyrus. Be safe
Be
out
safe.
there.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it's season 2 is going to be a blast. I think we already have been having our meetings from a production standpoint of the direction that we want to go, the things we want to see happen in season 2.
So it's already in pre-production. That's good.
Yeah. We myself and the other producers, we meet every 2 weeks just to kind of talk about where we are, where we need to get to. And these last couple of meetings, we've been able to talk about, okay, now let's start talking about season 2. Let's look for some new writers, which we have, and we found. I believe we have 4 starting with us. So we're going from 2 writers to where we'll be at 6 writers.
Nice. So double the staff.
Yeah, it'll be nice. And it also gives, some of the
It'll change the voice a little bit too.
Yes, and and 2 of our 2 writers are also producers on the show, and it's going to give them the ability to focus a little bit more on the production aspect, less on the writing.
Right. That's perfect.
Yeah, so it's going to be very good. It's good growth for us. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm excited to be wrapping principal recording for season 1. And really looking forward to post-production, getting the episodes really assembled, put together. We are, of course, always looking for talented individuals. So if there's anybody out there that wants to get involved, please don't hesitate to reach out. We will be doing auditions for voice talent for season 2 because there's going to be some new characters, of course. But I'll have more information on that as we get closer.
Yeah.
But right now, for Murphy's Inc., here's what I do need.
What's up?
This is the graphic that we're currently using. And it's fine. It's a good placeholder, and it's served its purpose for now. But we really need someone that is a graphics designer that's willing to work with me, ideally for the cheap, for credit, for some credit, and if
on
we've
the
got
low.
Yeah, if we got to talk about money, I guess we can maybe talk about money. But I'd rather talk about a percentage of any future money the show might make. You know what I mean? Because I think this show really has the possibility to go somewhere, especially when you look at a lot of the concepts out there. There's not a lot of good sci-fi these days.
Well, because I guess it's just it might be because it doesn't translate well over radio. Maybe it's just not written well enough to broadcast.
I'm saying on TV and in movies, we don't got a lot of good sci-fi these days.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah, I thought you were talking about like in the vein that we're going. Some of it just doesn't translate well. Plus, because a lot of people are like, oh, it's not on TV. But like this, like after Harwich House, I was kind of like, yo, I need to like. It almost like after listening to it, I was like, yo, this could be a decent TV series.
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, no, definitely Murphy's it's been a lot of fun. Yeah, so if you know anybody that's out there, reach out, let us know, because that'd be awesome to really clean that up a little bit.
Yeah, and Brian concurs. Our dam checking in. No real sci-fi now. Fantasy is in ascendance. Yeah, fantasy has been, really since Game of Thrones became kind of a cultural phenomenon, and which partially came from obviously the Lord of the Rings series
Yeah.
pushing.
I think Lord of the Rings was really one of the first ones. It was like huge, lot of fanfare behind it. And then
Harry Potter helped
Yeah,
with
Harry
that.
Potter definitely helped, and picked off all this stuff. So I mean, it basically just kind of built off each other. And sci-fi, I think, you still got the fantasy part, but the science part kind of got pushed to the side. So they want to keep it fantastical. So
So kind of interesting when you think about the fantasy ascending as Brian referenced. You've got uh you've got the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings series,
uh
right? That those really, to me, I think kind of kick-started it. Then you have the Harry Potter universe, which is
ongoing.
with with Harry Potter, and then obviously the Fantastic Beasts series, right?
Yeah.
Um, and then you've got the Game of Thrones. Now, the interesting part to me is that the three writers involved there, they all have abbreviated names.
Yeah. Uh J.R.R. Tolkien, and then
J.R.R.
no,
Martin,
Martin, sorry, and then you got J.R. Is it J.R. Tolkien?
Tolkien.
Tolkien, and then J.K. Rowling.
Yes,
So yeah,
yes,
I mean,
yes.
maybe you have to have an abbreviated name to get in that fantasy game.
Well, and you've got to lead off with a J.
Yeah, apparently too.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
maybe I need to. So do I need to jump in? J.D. Lewis or something?
there. You go. There you go. You need to start writing some
Start right.
fantasy.
Yeah, what was that kid that wrote that? I guess the movie was disappointing, but he was like a kid and wrote the Aragon series or whatever. Did you ever hear about that one? Yeah,
Nope, no clue.
yeah. There was a movie, but I guess it didn't do well enough. So but yeah, no, I definitely I'm down with the fantasy stuff. Like Carnival Row came. They have Carnival Row on Amazon Prime, and then there's what was it? I think there's a new one that's supposed to be coming out or something like that. But I can't remember. It's Game of Thrones, House of Dragons or whatever is supposed to be a series that's coming out.
And Brian calls out via his Google search Christopher Paolini.
Yeah, there we go. That was the kid's name. But anyways, I think we should move on.
Fair enough. Let's talk about some upcoming content to a theater or streaming service near you.
Yes.
First and foremost, Strange World from Disney dropped a trailer, and
Gives you almost zero.
yeah, I don't know what to think about the trailer.
Who the main character in this film, I thought it was until I went to IMDb and looked up who it was. I was almost thinking it was Little Dicky, but who has the show Dave on.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was him, and then I was like, oh, never mind, it's Gyllenhaal. Okay.
I could see that looking at the character. I could see like if they had like mocapped, Little Dicky for the character. I could.
Yeah, because I mean, it kind of looked like him. The character kind of looks like him, and then when I was I was watching it, but the voice kind of sounded like him because I like some of his songs and stuff like that he's come out with. So
Hi, I'm Dave.
exactly.
Yeah, no, I actually watched since you brought it up. I watched Dave recently. I had never seen it before. I think it's in its third season, and I started watching. I was like, this show is genius. It
Yeah,
is absolute, like it's ridiculous. Don't get me wrong, but it is an absolute genius of a show. And
I've
Dave
heard.
Little Dicky is he's a talented rapper.
Oh yeah, no, some of his songs. I mean, like just I remember I think the first song I heard was Freaky Friday with him and Chris Brown, and it's basically like them switching bodies, and
Yeah.
it's absolutely hilarious. And so, and then like, he has songs with so many rappers. His videos are crazy good because he does them for one of his videos. He got on other people's music video shoots and shot his video that way. He actually went to these, I don't remember, I think it was in LA, and he went to these rich people's mansions and was just like, hey, my name is Dave, and I'd like to, we were wondering if we could shoot a music video here. And like these rich people were just like, yeah, why not? Like I was just like, yo, that is crazy. So I mean, he's super talented, and so that's why I was like, yo, that'd be kind of cool if it was him, but yeah, it's not. But
and I'm not surprised because it's Disney after all.
Yeah, so. I mean, he's a little blue, if you will.
Yes. Now Dave is on Hulu, which is Disney. So
yeah. So I mean, you never know.
So we were talking about sci-fi and how there really is no good sci-fi these days. As a matter of fact, keeping with that trend of bad sci-fi, you wanted to talk about this one.
Yo, listen, I think after the last Predator, well, what was it? What was the last Predator movie? I don't remember, but it doesn't really matter.
It was probably a Predator versus Alien or something.
Yeah, this was one of those things where I was just like, yo, oh no, we haven't taken that cruise yet.
We got El Jefe checking in.
He's back. It's been a while.
Welcome back, El Jefe. No, the cruise is still quite a ways away. We will be talking about it in a little bit, so stick around.
Yes, but no, I saw the poster. I don't remember how I saw this, but I was like, huh, that's pretty interesting. It's supposed to be, it's years before the original Predator, and it's a Native American woman who is a hunter, which in that kind of society was very uncommon because they, the men did the hunting, the women did the gathering. And so this was a concept I was like, yo, this actually sounds kind of interesting. And so the trailer finally dropped, and I was actually I was more interested to see it because of the trailer. I already kind of was like, okay, but then I saw that it's going straight to Hulu. So I was like, I don't know.
It is not the Danny Glover vibe. No, it is not Arnold Schwarzenegger vibe. It is stank vibe.
I don't agree with you on that. But
I'll tell you, the only thing that made me excited for a brief moment watching this trailer was I was like, is that Aubrey Plaza? Which would make absolutely no sense. She does comedy, but for a moment, looking at this actress in the poster, in the trailer, you only see her for a moment, and I was like, I think that's Aubrey Plaza, and I had to look it up. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I think, but
well, Google her. You can do that. Yeah. But she was on Parks and Rec, for example. Okay. But yeah, I think the Predator series was done and should have been done after the second one. The first one, amazing. What are you waiting for? Kill me now. Amazing, right? And the second one, very good as well. Everything since then with the whole Predators and Aliens and all of that stuff, I feel like...
the only reason I was excited for Aliens versus Predators, because I remember the video game, and I thought it was going to be more like that, and it definitely was not.
Yeah. So this comes out summer 22, so that's where we are. So I assume very soon.
Yeah.
So you'll be watching it. I'll expect a full report. Prepare a good 2 to 3 page summary, and for 5 minutes of content, which is probably way more than it deserves, frankly.
Yeah, now I know who you're talking about. Yeah, she was on that X-Men spinoff show on FX.
No clue. So let's talk about Black Adam. Trailer dropped today, and let's call out what El Jefe said real quick. My understanding of the movie is that the Predator spends most of the movie hunting for a plot line. Oh man, that was great.
El Jefe got jokes out here. Okay,
man, I didn't read that until I pulled it up on screen, and so
I like that. That's good.
I was genuinely thinking, okay, he's going to tell us, kind of what's going on, because the trailer didn't tell me much. But thank you, El Jefe. That was great. So Black Adam, starring Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah. That has been in talks for like the past decade, I feel like.
Yeah, this has been a long time coming. I got to tell you, watching that trailer, I'm a fan of The Rock. I follow him on the different social media platforms, so I've seen him, going in for shooting, reshooting, all of that kind of stuff. And I wanted to be excited for this film, but I never got there. And then watching the trailer today, the only thing that I could say I was somewhat excited for was seeing Pierce Bronson,
Pierce Brosnan,
whatever, James Bond,
yeah.
playing Dr. Fate.
Yeah.
Other than that, I wasn't really excited about much. And watching the trailer, it was kind of a letdown. I'm going to be honest.
Well, it's definitely, listen, it's way better than what I got from that DC Universe reveal thing that they did, whatever that thing was, like we talked about a number of months ago. It definitely gave me more. So I was like, okay, I mean, that's a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, like, the only reason I want to see this movie is because it's been in talks since, I swear, since like the dawn of time at this rate. Since The Rock kind of stepped over and DC was really trying to ramp up their stuff. But
you mean the Scorpion King? Okay.
We talked about it before. Is like, where is this DC universe? Like, it's so scattered. There doesn't seem to be any sort of there's no Kevin Feige over at Warner Brothers, it seems like.
Interesting that you brought that up, because news broke this last week that there was actually a period of time that Kevin Feige was looking at leaving Marvel and going over to Warner Brothers to run DC.
Then the DC universe might have made sense, because like it makes zero sense now, and especially like, it's been I think we talked about it a while back. It's been so many years since Justice League, and then now they're just coming out with the Flash. You got Black Adam, like
Flash isn't until next year.
Oh, never mind. And then you got, so I thought that was supposed to be this year. You got that moved back. You have Aquaman 2 that they're working on. You have, I think there's another Wonder Woman movie in the works. I don't know. But regardless, it's like everything has been so scattered and spread out, is that when DC did stuff, rewind. When Marvel did things, yeah, it'd be like, they did Iron Man, and then I think it had been like maybe less than a year, then Incredible Hulk, and then like their series basically evolved into the Avengers, which DC just like, oh, here, let's cram them all in here and throw it out. Like, build it, and that's what I think what made Marvel really successful. And then again, I think it's Kevin Feige who has been making sure that the pieces really fit.
Yeah, and just to be clear, the Flash is not coming out until July of 2023.
Oh, like originally I thought it was supposed to be coming out this year.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something that is coming out much sooner than that, though.
Please.
A League of Their Own?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. This old movie turned into a new TV series?
Yes. The only thing to me, watching the trailer, and you don't even see it in the trailer, actually, but that I have found out through my research that I try to do in preparation of doing our show, is that Nick Offerman, again of Park and Recs, is going to be playing the coach of the baseball team. So I'm excited for that, because I love Nick Offerman. I think he's extremely talented. Other than that, I really don't care.
I'll give it 2 episodes. I'll give it 2. I'm actually.
It's on Prime, so it's not like I got to pay for a subscription, because I already got it.
Right.
But,
so I mean, I'm just saying, I might give it like 2 episodes.
Yeah. I enjoyed A League of Their Own, the movie.
Yeah, the movie was great.
There was a lot of talent there. I mean, Tom Hanks, Madonna, actually as a decent actor in that. Rosie
Rosie O'Donnell.
O'Donnell.
What was it? What was her name?
I can't remember the other lady's name who was one of them.
Yeah, but yeah, no, there were some talented women in that film, and it was a good film. And then like I was kind of like, oh, there's a series. Okay.
El Jefe with the this one makes me throw up in my mouth a little. I don't know if I'd go that far. It does make me want to take a very long pee in a urinal.
Wow. Yeah.
You remember that? It's what the best scene of the film is Tom Hanks going for that really long pee. Let's move on because I'm not super excited about it. I just saw it and I was like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And literally about 5 minutes before we went on today, you and I watched this trailer. Mike, you may know Tyson, but do you know Mike? Now, the reason I was excited for this because we were, before we come on the air, we do a little show prep and we talk. And I saw this poster and I was like, oh, snap. Are they doing a live action Mike Tyson Mysteries?
That would be funny.
If you've ever seen Mike Tyson's Mysteries,
one
of the main characters
hilarious
is Pigeon, who was voiced by the late great Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
And so when I saw this poster and I saw he's holding a pigeon, I'm like, what?
Yeah, no, he's just a big fan of pigeons. That's all.
Yeah. So we watched this trailer and it is up on our page if you haven't had the chance to see it. It's basically a docuseries.
Yeah.
On Mike Tyson and the life and times of, if you will,
aka Balrog,
right? So I don't know. I feel like I'm more likely to watch 2 or 3 episodes of this than I am to watch A League of Their Own.
Yeah.
And only because Mike Tyson has been such a El Jefe. Jokes for days.
He's what Steven was at the beginning.
Yes. I think because Mike Tyson has been such a figure throughout our lives, when you think about it, and for me personally, I've had a direct interaction with Mike Tyson. I actually got shoved by Mike Tyson in a nightclub in Las Vegas once.
Really?
Yes. Somebody walked by Mike Tyson, took a cigarette out of his mouth, and he went chasing after them, and I was in the way.
You were in the way.
Yes. That hurt.
I'm sure it did. Yeah, no, Mike Tyson is he's started out, his career basically punching an old woman, trying to steal her purse, and the guy who become his manager saw him and was like, yo, we need to put this to good work. And so I after watching the trailer, it looks like we're gonna it's going through a lot. So
I gotta say, what I want to know is if they ended up going back into the studio to record the actor beating someone up on a plane, because you heard about that happening recently, right?
Yeah, that was like not too long ago. Yeah, the other guy, yeah, he had it coming.
Yeah.
So apparently, like I think charges were pressed, but then dropped because like it wasn't good for anybody. So, but yeah.
All right, let's talk about just releasing last week, first episode of the Orville New Horizons, New Home, New Missions.
Yes.
So it's now on Hulu, not on Fox anymore. So great to see the show back. Last episode aired in 2019, end of 2019.
Yeah.
So it's so great to see this.
Thanks, COVID.
Yeah, right. It's so great to have this series back. I loved the Orville, the first 2 seasons.
Oh yeah,
and I felt like they did such an amazing job with the content. I know you haven't watched the first episode yet, so I don't want to spoil anything yet. But you do need to watch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Actually, once we're done, I'm gonna pick up, pull up Hulu and
the only thing I'm gonna say is that I was really annoyed with this reintroduction, if you will. Um,
Is it
there,
like a rehashing of everything, or
it's a very long episode. I
oh,
think it ran at about an hour,
okay,
uh, and no commercials, so a true hour.
oh, okay,
Uh, but they spent at least 10 minutes of that hour wasting money. And what I mean by that is just to me throwaway shots of like cool space stuff that they didn't do in season 1 or 2 and that they really didn't
hmm,
need to do.
yeah,
It felt unnecessary and it kind of was almost a detraction. Um the content of the show was good. I'll go more into it next week because I do have a lot of thoughts about it.
okay,
And
yeah, definitely.
obviously, since you suck and didn't watch it, um, yeah, thanks for ruining that.
You're welcome.
But yes, episode 2 came out today. I will be watching that later. It's hard to try and cram everything in when so much stuff is coming out on Wednesdays now. Um, El Jefe, if Mike Tyson shoved me like he did you, I would one day be telling the grandkids I fought Mike Tyson. Yeah, no,
No,
no.
I had a brush with greatness.
Yes, I've had the fortunate opportunity to meet a lot of famous people throughout my life, and that was probably the. I was more scared for my personal safety watching that man as big as he is, and this was pre like Mike Tyson Mysteries and pre his
Pre
kind of like second comeback, if you will. This
the
was
pre the face tattoo.
no, he that was pretty fresh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this was when in like the time where it was like, yeah, I would not want to cross that guy.
He might murder
Um,
somebody.
yeah. Well, and that's what I was worried about for the guy that took the cigarette out of his mouth. I was like,
But why would you do that? Like that? Why?
press your luck.
Drunk.
Well, yeah, like I said, it was a nightclub in Vegas.
Yeah, yeah. So it probably was drunk. So, anyways,
All right, let's talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi series. We're not going to talk about episode 4, which came out today.
so far so good.
I got to tell you. So episode 1 was hands down my favorite.
Yeah,
Until episode 3.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it's been a week, so we can talk about it, and we're going to. So if you haven't watched it, spoilers, sorry.
Yo, your fault.
Oh wait, here's your countdown: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Done.
So Darth Vader just mopped the floor. Like I'm just gonna go straight there. Darth Vader mopped the floor with Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Bro, like that. Like, when did Obi become so weak, bruh?
Well, you got to remember, it's been about 10 years, and he hasn't used the Force in 10 years. So he hasn't probably done any dueling practice or anything.
It's true. He did have to dig up the lightsabers.
Yeah,
So.
he's been playing it super low key, right? So
Yeah,
you
super
gotta
low key.
you gotta think he's way out of practice. Where Vader, has been going around slaying people left and right for the last 10 years.
And he don't even have to touch people.
No,
I mean, he dragged the dude out the house by his neck, basically strangling him. Then his son came running out. He not only he force choked him and snapped his neck. I was like, yo, what, bro?
brutality.
You are wilding out right now.
Just like we never in episodes 4, 5, and 6 saw Vader that ruthless. Like,
No.
he force choked people and killed them, but like straight up, he just
walking down a street,
killing everyone.
Just dragged some lady just out of the cuts, just dragged her out, choking her out. Like, I was like, bro, you are savage right now. Young Vader versus older Vader. Young Vader is ruthless.
Yeah, and Brian, I'm gonna disagree with you on Obi deliberately cutting himself off from the Force. I don't think he cut himself off. I just don't think he was very much using it, because we saw in the first episode multiple times, and multiple times he's reaching out to Qui-Gon,
Yeah,
master, you there, like, So I
because
don't,
that's what Yoda told him that he was going to teach him how to do.
yeah. So I don't think Obi-Wan cut himself off completely from the Force. I definitely think he didn't keep up on his other skills with the saber, or probably he wasn't doing a lot of Force tricks, lifting stuff.
Yeah,
But
because he was just trying to. I mean, because if you do that stuff, basically, like they talked about some of the other Jedi's. They were out there saving people, trying to do that kind of thing, and that got them killed. And so he was like, "Yo, I have to make sure that this boy stays safe. I have to make sure this girl stays safe." Well, actually, he wasn't really concerned about her at the time, but I have to make sure this boy stays safe. And so I think that was one of the main things. He was just literally, I'm not going to do anything to draw attention to myself. He lived out in the cuts, took a remedial job, just was doing everything that he could to stay as under the radar as possible.
Brian says he's afraid, not accepting his fear, hiding so he can't reach Force Ghost Neeson. Ah,
Well, that's the thing, is that's one of the things that I was like, yo, like, I didn't realize. I mean, after episode 3, like, you know, I felt in the first episode, I was like, man, why is he seems kind of wussy. But at the same,
I,
but as the as it's gone along, I've kind of understood why he was the way he was.
oh, absolutely. And I think they are using this platform because obviously Ewan McGregor, between what we're seeing in this series and episode 4, is really 9 years.
Yeah,
So clearly he doesn't look anywhere close to as beat up and ragged as Sir Alec Guinness did when
I think
he.
they're gonna get to that for sure.
And I think part of that was him getting drugged through fire. And
Yeah,
yeah, so man, uh, just the last 10-15 minutes of that episode, to me, made this whole series so far. And obviously, like I said, I haven't seen episode 4. I'm going to be watching that tonight or tomorrow. I'm really excited to see where it goes. um, I'm still not loving the Inquisitor. I think she's uh I don't know. She's just fine. I feel like they're forcing her down our throats a little bit more than
yeah.
they need to.
But the one thing that I will say is that I was watching a video the other day, and apparently, like, people are going after her super hard because she's black. Um, like, I I wasn't a huge fan of her, like the first few episodes, but I think the fourth episode was like, okay, like, it was a little bit better. It was a little bit like she's becoming a little bit more tolerable. I think it's because I was like, I wasn't really feeling her, but I think it's just because she's coming off so just abrasive. Like, in every situation, she's coming off super abrasive. Um, and so, but overall, like, I'm hoping that something else, something comes from it. But yeah, no, definitely, she's definitely kind of one of those characters, like, yeah, here, eat it, eat it, eat it, and it's like, okay, I got it. Like, she's the Inquisitor that apparently has some Force powers, and um and is very ambitious. She wants to become the Grand Inquisitor. I get it. Calm it down a little bit, please. But yeah.
James, are you going to read it, or you want me to read it?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I heard that
Wow.
Predator shows up in episode 4 and collects Vader's skull as a trophy. Wow. Okay. Actually, I think a Predator would lose against Vader for sure.
Oh, hands
But
down.
absolutely for
I,
sure.
I mean, Arnold took out a Predator, so
Yeah, Vader would have zero problem with a Predator.
So Ewan McGregor's currently 51. Sir Alec Guinness was 63. Well, yeah, but they lived harder back then.
Yeah, they sure did.
Because
Especially,
Alec Guinness at 63 looked like 83 today.
yeah,
He looked pretty
yeah.
rough.
I mean, England, that.
I mean, his teeth weren't all janky, so that's good.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Kamala Khan.
Yo, like I didn't even know this was coming out when I just happened to go on I happened to turn on my PlayStation today because I was gonna go watch something else and I saw this was up and I was like, wait, what?
The new Marvel Studios Disney Plus series, Miss Marvel, episode 1, dropping today. Again, we're not going to do spoilers.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about the episode and the abstract a little bit really quickly. It was much better than I expected. I was very concerned about watching a junior in high school female, dealing with those teen angst kind of things. Um, and there was some of that to deal with in this episode, but
Yeah.
I felt like overall it was not as painful as I was expecting it to be.
No, did you watch a fan's guide to Miss Marvel by chance? Did you watch that
No,
little
only
format that
because I
came?
know a lot about Miss Marvel thanks to the Avengers video game that came out a couple years ago.
Okay.
uh,
Yeah, I think, that was one of the things, when I after watching that, I was like, "Oh, okay." Like, it was very much, it wasn't, like, super, like, "Hey, this is everything you need to know." It was just basically talking about the actress, and so that's kinda what made me intrigued by it because I was kind of intrigued by how she was a huge fan of Miss Marvel due to the fact that she is also Pakistani American, and they bring a lot of that. Um, and I know some people who are Pakistani, so I've kind of interacted with their families, and so I kind of understand. I was like, yo, this is the fam or like of Middle Eastern descent because they all kind of have the same kind of family dynamic there, and it was very much like that when I watching just the first episode because I was like, yo, this is like some of the
that's
people that
right,
I
folks. That's the black guy saying that all people of Middle Eastern descent have a same kind of family unit. So
you keep turning. I'm saying the kind of dynamic that is in the show, the dynamic of it, I've seen, and so it was like, okay, like that. I kind of know what this is like. Have seeing it, and so it was very nice to see that kind of bringing the culture into it. A lot of people of Middle Eastern descent are working on this show. That's also really dope. So yeah, the first episode I enjoyed. I'm ready to see what else comes out of this.
speaking of racist comments, James, I got to get your opinion on something. So there's a children's museum. It's not the one here in Reno. There is a children's museum somewhere in the United States. I forget what city it's in, and they are doing kind of like a Juneteenth celebration, quote unquote, right?
Mhm.
They're doing kind of a barbecue and like inviting families to come to the museum, and uh, there are black individuals that were involved with helping to create this event and plan it out and everything. Um, there's a really big hullabaloo about it right now because one of the items on the menu for this barbecue kind of thing for families is a salad that has watermelon in it.
Watermelon salad.
Yes.
Okay, that's a
How do you feel
summer.
about do you find that racist? Do you find that to would you be offended finding out, hey, there's this Juneteenth thing going on at this place and they're having watermelon salad? Like,
No, I mean that
is that
watermelon
what you would
salad.
jump to?
No, like watermelon salad is like if you go to certain restaurants, that's a typical kind of summer type salad that they have. There's normally like a watermelon type salad and a strawberry salad that come out during the summertime.
But
So
tying it specifically to a Juneteenth event. would that offend you or bother you?
That's not one of the that's not what I would jump to. Like, oh, now they're gonna serve us watermelon. Like, what? No, that would not be offensive to me at all. I mean, like,
Now, what if it was watermelon
I'm more
salad
concerned with.
with fried chicken and grits
I mean, that might be a
and some
little.
collard green?
I
That would
mean,
push it. That would.
I don't know. I mean, that would be kind of, I would hope because they say barbecue. I mean, if they had fried chicken there, yeah, but I'd be more interested in the barbecue because, like, what kind of barbecue you got? You got ribs? Cool. I'm in. You got chicken, barbecue chicken? I'm in. Like barbecue is to me, I think of, like, ribs, chicken, uh, potato salad minus the raisins. Ew, gross. But yeah, even like if it's a Juneteenth thing, yeah, definitely, bring in some collard greens is definitely something that I would put out there. Um, you know,
El Jefe
yeah.
says if there's pickled pig's feet and collard greens, he's there.
Well, pickles, pig feet. Ugh, yikes. Yikes. But no, collard greens, definitely collard greens are very delicious. So, I mean, I'd be down with that. Yeah. So, watermelon salad, I have zero problem with.
Yeah. So I heard this story and I felt like there's a reason that this is the fat and black connections because we have different perspectives sometimes on things in life, and I'm glad to hear that. At least on this one, you and I more or less agree.
Yeah, like I
Um,
said, a watermelon salad is kind of a summerish salad. I believe we had one. Did we have one at Red Robin while I was
yes.
there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there was one when I was
yeah,
there.
yeah. We had a watermelon salad. It had little pieces of watermelon and a watermelon vinaigrette or something like that. So yeah, it's a summer-ish salad. So I don't see why somebody would kind of blow their mind over that. But whatever.
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine, friend.
Everybody's gonna come with something crazy. Yes.
Naturally.
If they have potato salad, if it has raisins in it, that person needs to be dragged out and beat up. But
Not dragged and beat.
no, just like grab their dish, drag it out, drag them out, be like, you can't come back no more, and maybe like kick them in the shin or something, and then run off.
All right. Let's shift
Take
gears.
this potato salad with you.
Let's talk about the thing everyone wants to hear about, and that, of course, is Brian's favorite topic.
Beep, 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 beep.
Our Alaskan cruise coming up in April, in a mere 10 months from now. That's right, folks. We're going to talk about the Alaska cruise for the remainder of this show. So, hope you enjoy it. First and foremost, I want to say, just to kind of preface, because we haven't talked about it in a little while, we are going on a cruise. This is the Fat and Black Connection hosted cruise. We've got about 50 people on this cruise so far. There are huge discounts and benefits for joining our group. Right now, the cheapest room available is $599. That's for a 7-day cruise. And some of the perks and benefits that come along with that is the drink package that's included, some food comps to eat at the higher end restaurants. And as you can see right now, they're offering free airfare for your second guest. So if it's you and somebody else, you take that 35% off, split that cost. It's great.
Yeah.
And if you don't care where you're staying, $600 for 7 nights.
Yeah.
That's cheaper than a hotel, my friend. Especially if you're paying half your price you're only paying half the price for your airfare.
Yeah.
I mean, that's if you're okay with being in an inside room,
Yep.
why not? You know what I
Yep.
mean? But it's an Alaskan cruise. It's April 15th to the 22nd. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you are interested, let us know. Hit us up on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, whatever, and we will
Get you in on
send
that.
you the link. Yeah,
Yeah.
to get you all the contact information for our personal cruise consultant, Terry, who has been amazing. So the cruise does leave out of Seattle, Washington. There's a day at sea. Then we go to Juneau, Alaska. Then we go to Skagway. Then we cruise around Glacier Bay for a day, head up to Ketchikan, then into Victoria, British Columbia, and back to Seattle. It's going to be a fun. I plan to be perpetually buzzed the entire time.
Yes.
and just really briefly, the pricing. So we talked about that $5.99 for the inside rooms, $9.99 for an ocean view, $11.99 for a balcony. That's amazing to me.
Yeah, that price came down, that's for sure.
$14.42 for a spa suite, $13.49 for a club balcony suite, and the Haven, which is where I'll be hanging out, starting at $35.09.
Wait, you
So
went back to that?
I did.
Oh,
I went back to the Haven. So
okay. Yeah,
uh,
because I know you said you like like when we talked the last time about it, you were like you'd step down to a spa room or something like that.
we did. So we are staying in a spa room. There is a spa Haven room.
Oh, okay.
And so we are going to be doing that. So we're going to get all the perks and benefits of staying in the Haven and have access to all of the Haven amenities,
Okay.
while paying a really low price to have all of that. And so if you're interested to find out what the Haven really is, I'm just going to put it to you like this: first class.
Yeah.
Like, you've got your own private restaurant. They'll bring the food to your room. You've got a personal butler. It's yeah.
Is that all the Haven suites?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize it was all of them. I thought it
Yeah.
was.
It is the creme de la creme, if you will. So I'm very much looking forward to that experience, and enjoying the Atlantis Spa thermal suite. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun on this cruise. We've got, like I
Oh
said,
yeah.
about 50 people. Many people who enjoy this show and comment here. Hopefully, El Jefe will join us. I still keep trying to convince Brian I should just give up. His girlfriend's not going to let him.
Just knock her out, bring her along. It'll be fun.
Right? It will be fun. We do have Kel D out there checking in today. I hope you're interested in the cruise. So let's talk about some shore excursions. We've talked about these before for some of the other
Yeah.
ports, but let's talk about Ketchikan, which we haven't talked about yet. And
Not yet.
let's do a deep dive on shore excursions for Ketchikan.
Dive.
So, of course, I have these sorted by most expensive to cheapest.
And for the times that we're there, right?
Yes. So
Okay.
we're only in Ketchikan for about 6 hours.
Yeah.
So I sorted this to only show items that are up to 5 hours.
Okay.
So first up is the chauffeur driven Hummer tour of Ketchikan.
Another one.
Yeah, it's another one. It's 4 hour tour. The price is per vehicle. And so you don't get to drive the Hummer. You're driven around.
Oh.
And so it's $900. But you think about it, if you put 4 people in that Hummer,
Yeah.
and so you split that 900 4 ways, it's still expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, but I mean, like, I don't even get to drive the dang thing. So I mean, it's like,
Yeah, you don't get to drive, and there doesn't seem to be really any food involved, which is what I care about. So
yeah. No, thank you.
yeah. Next up is the George Inlet Fjord Safari, craft beers and Dungeness crab meal.
Yo.
I know you're interested in this, so let's just hit the highlights. I'm not going to read the whole thing. So this is
All right.
this is a 4.5 hour excursion where you drive a utility task vehicle off-road through densely forested mountainous terrain, cruise past the gorgeous Mahoney Glacier Cirque in an enclosed catamaran, and feast on Dungeness crab and local craft beers at a historic George Inlet Lodge.
How much is that?
$400.
Oh, it's not horrible.
So remember, we talked about before how you want to kind of do one of those, UTV drives and stuff.
Yeah.
This to me combines. This is the one I think you're probably going to want to land on, because you're getting that crab feast, you're getting to go on a catamaran, and you're getting to drive around in a UTV. So I think this is really
That might be the one.
where you blow your load and say, okay, I'm going to drop the 400, which you're getting that $50 shore excursion credit. So
Right.
$350 out of pocket.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I think it's one of those things where it's like, yeah. And plus, I mean, I'm down with the crab. I'm definitely down with the craft beers.
El Jefe, unfortunately, I can't even read that comment, but
Yo,
I get it.
yo,
That's yeah, I get it.
yo.
Next up, we've got
Uh,
the Ketchikan's Best by Land and Sea. Um, again, this one, just looking at it kind of briefly, you can sip on some locally craft beers, have some smoked salmon, roe, halibut, oysters, and crabs served two ways.
hmm,
So there's some food in this one. You get to go around. They take you on a tour. This is a 4 hour for $300, so
okay.
$100 cheaper, but you're not getting to drive yourself around in that
Yeah.
UTV. Next up, we've got the Wildlife Safari and Beach Bonfire, 4.5 hours.
Beach bonfire.
This wildlife safari includes a stop on secluded Annette Island for a classic Alaskan meal of reindeer sausage hot dogs, kettle chip, and salmon berry jam.
Salmonberry jam, huh?
I don't know how I feel about that. Is that like roe? Is that what they mean when they say salmon berry?
No, I'm probably sure it's just like it's probably some kind of berry that maybe have the same color or something as salmon, so they call it salmon berries or something. I don't know.
All right. Next up, we've got the
I'll look it
Bering
up.
Sea Crab Fisherman's Tour. Uh, so let's just read this one really quickly. Join an adventure of a lifetime aboard the Aleutian Ballad, as seen on Discovery Channel's The Deadliest Catch. Your experience begins with a short walk along the fishing pier of Ketchikan, a historic fishing port and gateway to Alaska. On board, you'll find comfortable, heated theater-style seating and modern amenities. As you head out on the clam waters of the Inside Passage, your seasoned crew will begin fishing, and you'll be up close to all the action. Crabs, octopus, eels, sharks, rockfish, and prawns are all a possibility as the crew demonstrates their expertise. So again, no food involved here. You're
And you
basically
and you're putting your life in danger.
paying $270 to say you were on one of the ships on Deadliest Catch.
Okay, real quick, salmonberry is actually a real berry, um, native to the west coast of North America, from western central Alaska to California, and inland as far as Idaho. Yeah, it's not doesn't tell me a whole lot, but it's just basically it's a pinkish, looks like a pinkish kind of raspberry type deal. So
Okay.
yeah,
Next up, we've got the Adventure Card Expedition. This is your standard driving around UTV, ATV. Uh, $270, but other than that, nothing too special. 3 hours. I still think that other one's the way to go. You've got a black bear and wildlife exploration.
I know Tyrus is out on that one.
Yeah, Tyrus would not be interested in seeing any black bears. It's a 3.5, $270 exploration. Walk through the historic Herring Bay Lumber Company sawmill, established by legendary pioneer Ben Flurnor. See birds of prey up close at Alaska Raptor Center. And yeah, can't say I'm too hyped on that one.
Yeah.
Alaska Culture Experience. Nope. All right, I'll give you the highlights. Learn about the First Nations cultures at a replica 19th century village. Gain insight into the symbols of animals that adorn the village's many totem poles. Follow indigenous guides along a trail at Connell Lake and hear how they use medicinal plants. Smoke the chronic. Snack on locally harvested foods that may include salmon and wild berries.
Salmon berries and wild berries, or is it salmon and
It
wild
says
berries?
salmon and wild berries.
All right, well,
That's where they get you. You're thinking you might get some salmon? Nope.
no
Salmon berries.
salmon berries. Gotcha.
Next up, we've got a wildlife cruise, oyster farm, and tasting.
Hmm.
I enjoy an oyster once in a while, but
I don't know if I'd want to do a whole. I mean, we did a tasting at this place called King's Fish House or whatever out here, and it's pretty good. But yeah, I don't know if it's like,
I just don't know if I'd want to spend 3 hours for $250 at an oyster farm.
yeah, yeah. Ooh, that's fun.
Next up, we've got Knudsen Cove Salmon Sports Fishing.
Is this when you need a license to?
So the highlights are fish for hard fighting, highly priced salmon. Enjoy a stunningly beautiful natural backdrop, and ship your catch home if you wish. So it's $250. You will need to bring cash of $15 for a license, and also another $15 for a king salmon tag. And of course, that does not include if you do ship your if you catch any.
If you catch, yeah, it's also if you catch any.
Yeah, I could totally see doing something like this.
If it was a guarantee type deal.
Well, not only that, maybe if it was like my second or third time going on this cruise, and like I could see, okay, you know what, I'm going to do this now because I've done some of the other really cool stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's like you're a repeat.
Yeah,
You've done it. You've done a couple of the other things. You're like, you know what, this would be fun.
Yeah.
I'm down to do this. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it makes sense.
Now this next one seems super cool. This would probably be around my number 2 right as of right now. This is a hovercraft eco adventure and wildlife viewing. It's quick though. It's an hour and a half for $240. Get ready for the adventure of a lifetime. Your exclusive tour will start immediately at the cruise ship dock. There you will board a Blackbird hovercraft and enjoy a narrated tour en route to a local beach. As you fly 20 inches over the water, your tour guide will describe the operations of the air cushion vehicle and what makes a hovercraft eco-friendly. Don't care. The pilot will take you over gentle waves and along the jagged shoreline before flying your aircraft from the water to the beach. Make sure you have your camera ready as the hovercraft transitions from sea to land. Pulling up onto the shore will be the ultimate display of what makes a hovercraft such a unique vessel. Once ashore, guests will have the opportunity to step out onto the remote beach and walk around the beautiful shoreline while taking in the breathtaking scenery. It's quick, it's short, it's sweet. I've always wanted to go on a hovercraft, but not this time.
No.
This is one that might interest you.
How much was that one though?
$240.
Oh yeah, definitely not for an
hour and a half.
Yeah.
So this next one might interest you because you mentioned you do want to do some zip lining. This is a rainforest zip, sky bridge, and rappel adventure.
Okay.
It's 4 hours. This is an activity level 3. Bear in mind, there's levels 1, 2, and 3. 3 means you're going to be working. So, yeah, now there is an all-terrain custom 4x4 Unimog that will transport you up a steep rainforest hillside. And you're going to get to do, let's see, your Rainforest Canopy Challenge features a flight over 7 zip lines. Your guide will progressively ease you into the forest canopy along cables ranging from a short 100 feet to the 750-foot pulse-pounding Ben's Revenge.
Yes.
So that, again, for me, maybe ziplining, I don't know. I feel like it's cool the 30 seconds or so you're doing it, but the amount of time, this is a 4-hour duration. Of that 4 hours, you're ziplining for maybe a combined total of 5 minutes.
Yo, I just like ziplining. It's fun.
Have you? So you live in Vegas. Have you done the zip line down Fremont Street?
Yeah.
And you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Okay. Never done it. I don't know.
Godzilla, baby. There's the other one I want to do. They have one. Apparently, there's one at the Rio. I haven't actually seen that one go. And then there's the one over at I think it's the Links, the link that has that goes like the backside towards uh, the big Ferris wheel.
The Eye.
Well, yeah, this one's the roulette or something like that, I think they call it.
Okay. So the next one might also interest you: Eagles, Raptors, and Rainforest Experience. It's a 3.5 hour, $240 excursion, where your walk is going to lead into a 1,500 square foot flight auditorium. During a 30-minute narrated presentation, a handler from the Alaska Raptor Center will describe the unique physical and behavioral adaptations of the birds while showcasing their natural abilities. So they'll be flying around you.
That's cool.
Wilderness Exploration and Crab Feast, 4 hours, $230. You get to putt around on a little boat, see some scenic waterfalls, and then here's where it gets good, James. Return to the lodge to enjoy a tasty Dungeness crab feast. Be sure to save room for some blueberry cheesecake.
Oh, man. I have to break some lactose.
Here's what's frustrating about a lot of these. They talk about these crab feasts, and it's always Dungeness. I want some freaking king crab legs. Like if any of these said it's king crab, that's the one I'm doing. Like I don't care. Like
Dungeness crab is, I guess, easier.
It's cheaper,
but it's a pain in the butt to. Well, I mean, hopefully it's if it's already pulled, that'd be nice. But
this one is interesting.
Yeah, I saw food there, and I was like, "Yo, what's that one?"
Yeah, so this one is absolutely interesting. I'm going to read this one in its entirety.
Okay.
Lumberjack Show and Crab Feast.
Lumberjack Show.
Now this one is 4.75 hours.
Okay.
Taste and experience what makes Alaska such an awesome place to visit on this Alaskan-style crab cracking and lumberjacking tour. Enjoy 1 hour of Alaskan lumberjacks battling it out, chopping, sawing, tree climbing, axe throwing, history, and much more. Meet the Jacks after the show for pictures, and then loosen your belt and grab your camera as you sightsee your way to the rustic yet elegant George Inlet Lodge for an all-you-can-eat crab feast.
Yo, that sounds dope. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that to me, obviously, getting that crab feast on that first one we talked about earlier on is still going to probably be at the top of my list. This one's probably a close number 2.
Yo, like I've seen like some of those lumberjack competitions on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys go hard, bro. They go hard. So yeah,
and that one's $230.
Okay.
Next up, we've got Alaskan Lodge Adventure and Sea Feast.
Sea Feast.
Finish off your I'm just going to go straight to the food.
Yeah.
Finish off your tour with a delectable seafood boil meal. Crab, shrimp, clams, mussels, potatoes, onions, garlic, corn, and sausage, all cooked in one delicious pot. So kind of like we've done in the past at like Backdoor Barbecue or Backdoor Bayou.
Yeah, Backyard Bayou or whatever that was.
Backdoor Bayou.
Oh, okay.
I decided. Next up, we've got the Go Local Ketchikan Native Tingit Walking Tour. Nope, no thank you. Don't even it says walking. No.
Yeah, no, I'm out.
Next up, we've got the Backcountry Jeep and Canoe Safari.
It sounds like I have to actually do some paddling. I'm off.
Yeah. It sounds like you get to go around in a Jeep and then paddle. No thanks.
No.
Oh, here's another one for you. Aerial Zip and Rappel Course. So
How long is that one?
So this is a 4-hour. This is a level 3. And experience an exhilarating eco rainforest adventure featuring 7 zip lines, 9 tree platforms, and 2 rappelling elements. Your adventure begins with an 8-mile coastal drive from Ketchikan to the Herring Cove Rainforest Reserve. Enjoy the ride up the steep hillside in a 4x4 Unamog to the outfitting shelter. So it sounds very similar to the other one, except you get to do 2 rappels.
Yeah.
How about this one?
If they had a zip line with food, I'd be.
Well, how about this one? Rainforest Ropes and Challenge Park. This one's 3.5 hours at 209. On this one, oh, hold up. Let's read this one really quickly.
Yeah.
Board your motor coach for a scenic 25-minute drive to Knudsen Cove, a private waterfront estate in the Tongass National Forest. Upon arrival, guides will instruct and outfit you with safety equipment in an open-air forest pavilion. Your adventure begins as you ascend into the trees and gravity pulls you along the zip lines. Nestled on a platform in the park, keep an eye out for eagles and ocean views. You can take an optional challenge route that leads you across swinging logs and rope bridges.
Oh.
Feel the speed and acceleration of the ocean zip where you'll land above the water on a freestanding platform. Then take the final zip to the tap room deck where you can have a free Alaskan brewed beer if you're 21 or older. Now this next line is ridiculous. If you choose to skip the tap room, take the UTV up the hill to the 50-foot climbing tower where guides will show you techniques to climb to the top and safely auto belay to the ground.
I'm sorry. Wait, so you want me to skip beer and go to a wall where I have to climb it?
Yes.
Nah, I'm cool. Give me the beer.
So you want that free beer for $209?
Well, I mean, also the zip lines that if I can go over the ocean, that's dope too. I won't mind that at all. That's kind of cool.
All right. Next up is the Tatoosh Island Sea Kayak.
Nope.
All right. Next up is the Sea Cycle Ocean Adventure. This is a level 3. Some of the highlights: pedal a 2-person sea cycle boat around the estuary at Ward Cove and along the sea. Take in the natural beauty of the Tongass. You don't even want to.
Because Pat, those things scare me.
All right. How about a self-drive Zodiac adventure? This is a level 2.
Okay.
Skirt along the spectacularly scenic shoreline of Tongass Narrows in a Zodiac boat. Captain the Zodiac, be one of the 3 passengers, or switch positions if you like. Giggity. Look for wildlife that includes orcas, humpbacks, whales, and bald eagles. Learn about the indigenous Tlingit and Haida people and how they lived in the 19th century.
Oh, okay.
No food. How about a rainforest island adventure? So 3.5 hours. You could see some sea lions, harbor seals, bald eagles.
What's the highlight? Is that the highlights?
No, there's
What's
no
the highlights?
There aren't any on this one.
Oh, okay.
And there's no food.
No, I wasn't worried about that. I was just kind of see what the highlights were.
If you just want to go see the lumberjacks and learn about the Alaskan culture, you could just do this one for $189 in 3.5 hours. You can watch lumberjacks go head-to-head in competition, delve into the indigenous Tlingit culture.
Wait, and minus the food?
Hold on. Sample traditional Alaskan dishes after watching a chef prepare them.
Yeah.
And ride the funicular back to Ketchikan, or take the trolley if you prefer. What is a funicular?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Now
that sounds scary. Actually, it doesn't sound that scary. It just sounds weird. It sounds like a giant slide. If it was a giant slide, I'd be like, okay.
All right. How about this one? Rainforest e-bike and nature walk. This is a level 3.
E-bike and nature walk?
Yes. Pedal an electric enhanced bicycle to and from Connell Lake, a round trip of about 6 miles. Gain a historical perspective of the man-made lake, which once powered the Ketchikan pulp mill, and learn about the indigenous flora and fauna from a naturalist guide.
It does sound horrible. I mean, like the e-bikes are actually a little easier because you just start pedaling and then the little motor takes over. But yeah, no, I mean, that could be interesting. Like if you're one of those people that likes to know about flowers, if you're, one of those kind of people.
Sure, let's go with that. Rainforest Sanctuary and Lumberjack Show. This is a level 1, 4 hours. Does not appear to be any food involved. You just get to kind of walk around a sanctuary and a rainforest sanctuary and watch a lumberjack do his thing.
Nah.
Totem,
Too many other lumberjack things.
right? Totem Bite State Park and Canoe Adventure.
No.
You'll get an Alaskan snack of smoked salmon
No.
for $180.
Yeah, but that means I have to actually do work myself. Like Pat, I mean, like there's some stuff that I'm like, okay, I'd actually work for that. But yeah, no, canoeing is not one of those things. I'm like, yeah, I got to do this.
How about Eagle Island Sea Kayak? You feel like doing some kayaking?
Definitely not.
Oh, okay. Lighthouse Totems and Eagles Excursion. Enjoy the heated main cabin or outdoor observation decks. You'll cruise out of Ward Cove on your way to the Guard Island Lighthouse, established in 1901. No other excursion offers this itinerary, nor offers a view of Totem Bite State Park. You'll be treated to a panoramic view of 14 towering, hand-carved Tlingit and Haida totem poles and the Alaska Native Clan House at Totem Bite State Park. Your captain will share the navigational intrigue around Alaska's Danger Island, and you'll circumnavigate or have a clear view of a total of 12 islands on your tour route. Many of these islands are inhabited only by Alaskan wildlife. And you'll get to enjoy complimentary hot chocolate, coffee, tea, water, or soft drinks, as well as tasting of Alaskan delicacies, including signature smoked salmon dip.
How much is that one?
$160.
That actually doesn't sound I mean, like from a picture taking standpoint, that sounds like it'd be pretty dope for taking pictures, and you get a little snacky snack. That's all good too.
Fair enough. Rainforest Canoe and Nature Trail. So you get to canoe a bit and then walk a bit.
Nope.
How about some world famous George Inlet Lodge crab feast? So this is just the crab feast. 3 hours eating some crab.
Skip all the lumberjack stuff.
Yep, $150.
I'm black. I mean back. Tyrus, welcome back, man.
Danger Island means bears and moose. Nope. And Tyrus is saying, looks like they dropped their prices. I don't know. I have no point of reference. I've never done the excursions before. So next up is the Saxman Native Village and Lumberjack Show. And Tyrus is all about that crab, as am I. I do prefer, again, not Dungeness, but, beggars can't be choosers. El Jefe dropping in some interesting stuff there. I choose the undercooked crab feast on Danger Island. Bring your own toilet paper. Toilet paper? Yeah, you never know when you're going to have the runs.
Yeah.
Saxman Native Village and Lumberjack Show. Kind of some more of the same. See some totem poles. Watch some lumberjacks. Talbot Lake Rainforest Hike. This is a level 3. Hike 3 miles round trip through Tongass National Forest. No? Moving on.
Yeah.
Connell Lake Kayak, a level 3. You feel like doing some kayaking?
No. Again, absolutely not.
Man, they are really big in the lumberjacks here in Ketchikan. Totem Bite State Park and Lumberjack Show, combining two of those things we've already talked about.
I have a feeling that this is just one lumberjack show, and like everybody comes to the same lumberjack show.
Agreed. I think maybe they do it like 2 or 3 times a day, but yeah.
Yeah, but like everybody comes to that same show, and then
yeah.
Oh wait, is that a?
Hold on, we're not there yet.
Oh.
Next up is the Rainforest Wildlife Sanctuary Eagles and Totems. So again, combining a bunch of things we've already talked about.
The Eagles and Sea Totems, okay.
Now let's talk about what you want to talk about. Ketchikan Duck Tour. So obviously this is the duck boat. For those of you that don't know, these are these very large vehicles that hold dozens of people at once that have the ability to go out on water. They
Yeah.
drive you. So I don't even need to read what it says here. I can just surmise that likely it's going to say it drives you around Ketchikan, shows you the highlights of the town, and then you go out on the water and drive around in the area for a while.
Yeah. Those are fun. Oh, and I haven't been on one, but I think that might be fun.
All right. Thanks for checking in, El Jefe. We'll talk
All
to you
right, man.
soon. Next up is the Saxman Native Village. Again, this is a native Tlingit village, likely reconstructed from the past. 110 bucks. Alaskan Lumberjack and Axe Throw Challenge. Cheer on the mighty competitors in the Great Alaskan Lumberjack Show. Watch Lumberjacks go head to head
Oh,
and get in the competitive spirit by participating in an axe throwing contest.
oh, oh! I get to actually play.
Yeah, 100 bucks.
Huh.
Here's a good one. How about a Ketchikan pub crawl?
Oh, oh!
2 hours.
Talk to me.
So this is really, I'm just going to read it. Want to learn about a place? Drink with the locals. This fun,
Yes.
informative, and entertaining 90-minute walking tour is sure to please anyone who wishes to get off the beaten path and immerse themselves in the culture of Alaska's first city. Ketchikan is famous for doing business at the bar, and you'll learn why as you hear infamous stories of days gone by. The Prohibition era and the red light district was in full swing, and the colorful history of Ketchikan's most popular hotspots.
Okay.
Tyrus is all about that axe throwing. We've got Totem Blight Park again, 2 hours, 90 bucks. Ketchikan highlights by trolley. So, hop on a little putt and drive around town. Check it out. And finally, just purely the Great Alaskan Lumberjack Show, $80. And I tend to agree with Tyrus. A pub crawl sounds fun, but why pay for booze when it's free on the ship? I mean, the same could be said about why pay for a crab feast when the food's free on the ship.
But it's a crab feast in some random place, and you get to watch lumberjacks do a show, which is
And drive around in a UTV.
yeah. So
Yeah, I think so. That was the last one for Ketchikan. I think for me, I'm still going all the way back up to the top. That expensive $400 Georgian Lit Fjords Safari craft beers and Dungeness crab meal.
that does sound pretty good, man.
Yeah, I think getting to drive around in a UTV, then have some food and have some crab and some beer. That sounds like a blast. So,
Man, we did over an hour and a half today.
yeah, we do it once in a while. We go
Every
hard
once in a while.
sometimes,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm excited for this cruise. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. We've only got one more port to talk about, and that'll be on the next go round when we do one of these again, and that'll be Victoria, British Columbia. And
Tyrus says, I've been on a duck boat before. It's pretty cool, but it's really just an extremely slow moving boat. Yeah, probably.
kind of like a cruise ship, right?
Yeah.
So
Except that one's got a lot of stuff to do on it.
with that, I think it's time to wrap this thing up.
Put a nice bow on it.
Yes, it's been real. It's been fun. And you know what? I think I can say this for once. It hasn't been real fun.
Get out of here. Oh man. All right, guys. Till next week. We'll see.